it's Dmitry, and today we have this guy. Classic of classics. Buck 110, the most popular knife in the world, with history more than 50 years. Today we are going to give it a professional touch. We will make it an example of a good collector's knife. Guess all collectors want their knives to be sharp, with shiny bevels, and to be beautiful on the shelf. So, let's begin. With what we see in the microscope, I have to mention that this knife is made of 420HC steel, which is classic for buck knives. Steel is pretty soft. You may see the marks left by the grinder. These marks are big and, as usual, the bevels are not symmetrical. We are going to improve how the knife looks. And you may see that there is a burr. Even from the factory, knife is pretty dull, but right now it will be much sharper. As you may see, we used the masking tape to protect the blade from any scratches. We will position the knife in such a way that we will not damage the handle or the blade. And we are going to use our sharpening system Pioneer, which is sufficient for the task that we have today. And now we will try to reach the factory angle. We are applying a marker on both sides of the blade to see if we will be able to reach the factory angle from the very first time. No, right now I'm scratching the top side of the bevel, which means I have to increase the angle. So it looks like we have approximately reached the factory angle, and right now let's check what we may see with our digital angle finder. Okay, I can see that for this knife we have approximately 23 degrees per side, which gives us around 46 degrees total. And now let's start the sharpening process. I will apply a bit of oil on our resin bond stone. And let's try to give some symmetry to those bevels. This stone works perfectly. I guess it won't take too long to make this knife symmetrical, like it was always like that. You know, I can tell you, this knife requires a lot of effort to make bevels look symmetrical. We have to remove a lot of material because the asymmetry here, well, it's huge. The difference in width of two bevels is visible without any kind of microscope. Right now it looks much better than it was, I'd say, 15 minutes ago. We started from extra coarse stone for this kind of operation, and I guess in 2 minutes we will switch to the next one. The stone we used was around 150 grit. Now let's clean it a little bit using the same oil we used for sharpening, and we will switch to the next one. The next stone would be 240 grit, and it will help us to flatten the marks from the extra coarse stone. Never forget to apply the oil after you change the stone with resin bond. And now we can continue. You know, the knife that we are sharpening today had many versions, actually more than 20 different versions during the last 50 years. And the custom versions of this knife, I guess it would be hundreds, if not thousands. Because, you know, it was around 13 million of copies sold in the world. You've seen this knife in many Hollywood movies, in different TV series, so this knife is popular. Actually, I like the shape of this knife. It's universal for any kind of task. Some people even use it for bushcraft, but of course for bushcraft I would recommend something with convex edge. For the years this knife was created, I guess it was a top kind of item to have in your pocket. For more than 50 years people didn't know how to sharpen this knife properly, and right now we can show you how to do it. I want this knife to be a masterpiece of sharpening, because this knife is already a masterpiece. We are simply making it a little bit better. Right now we are continuing to sharpen with 600 grit stone. We have a good burr along the whole edge, which means we are doing everything right. A brief reminder for all of you: when you are working with a knife that is more a collectible than a tool. It's very important to keep its aesthetics at the level the customer wants, because, you know, the tip of the knife, where we have the thinnest part of the metal, can be bent easily. That's why I'm keeping my finger near it to protect the stone jumping off the blade and bending the tip. The same idea works for the heel. We had a video about it, because it's very important to sharpen the whole edge, but not to ruin the heel. Otherwise, well, you will leave scratches that you don't want, or create a curve that would require a lot of effort to be flattened. By the way, leave your stories in the comments. What knives do you have in your collections? And which one of them is the most difficult to sharpen? Don't forget to remove the sludge from time to time. It will help you to see if you are doing everything properly, because sometimes the sludge may cover your mistakes. For example, you may create a curve or leave a scratch that you won't see. And once you switch to the next stone, well, you'll simply have to change the stone back again. And we don't want to waste time during the sharpening process, right? Right now we switched to 1500 grit stone. This is almost the end of the line. Important thing here is that we have to work carefully. Since our collector's masterpiece has to shine, we will work slowly and carefully to give those bevels a good finish. If you will hurry up, well, in the end we will use the microscope and you will see what could go wrong. But it won't, because we are all professionals here, right? And now we are creating the marks in the same direction, from heel to the tip, on both sides. And with those finishing processes, well, we are simply flattening the surface of the bevel as good as we can get. Don't forget to work very careful when you are working with extra fine stones, because if it will jump off the tip, I assure you, your stone will have a scratch, a deep one. And I guess you will have to flatten the stone on the glass. Okay, right now we reached the last stop. This is the finest stone that we have. It's around 9000 grit. As you may see, I am working without applying any pressure to prevent any kinds of marks that might be created if the edge bends just a bit, and we will start to work with the top side of the bevel. It's very important to keep the stone on the edge and to prevent its jumping off the tip, otherwise you will leave a scratch on it, that's for sure. We had a video about it. I guess this knife might be a jewel of someone's collection, because with that kind of sharpening, it will cut, it will shine, but the steel is pretty soft, and to my opinion, it will not work for too long, being as beautiful as it is right now. But we will make it perfect. So now the last thing that we have to do with the knife is to remove the remains of the burr. Okay, now we are removing the burr, moving nice and slow from heel to the tip. Okay, now let's see what we have. I guess we did a great job because the edge is clean, there are no signs of the burr. Still, I may see a very small, almost invisible marks from the abrasive stone, but still, it got much better than it was. Well, I guess right now, a small piece of polishing, and this guy may go to the shelf. Okay, I guess now you may see the difference. What we had and what we reached. I guess The knife that looks like this may attract some attention, as a part of someone's collection or as a part of someone's interior. Well, sharp, beautiful, and the true value for a true knife lover, like all of us, I guess. I hope this video was useful. Don't forget to press like, subscribe to our channel, this helps us a lot. Leave your comments down below. We like to hear any new stories from you or any new questions. See you next time.